Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Empath Sisters. I'm Shelly,
Hello, I'm Bev.
and today we thought we're just gonna have a little conversation. We haven't had an episode for a little while, so we thought
Yeah.
we would just say hello and just kind of get you guys up to speed in what we've been doing in the last, I would say, month now? Do you
Yeah.
think?
I want to say basically we were healing. Healing
Yes.
ourselves.
Oh my gosh, talk about healing. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Like yeah, that's
Yeah.
been
So apparently when we get together, I
yeah.
don't know, things happen.
Well, honestly, like I know you had been, not feeling well before, and
Yeah,
when you came to visit us and we went on our fun Jasper trip, which was amazing.
it really was. It was
It
so
was
fun.
like it was so
Up to the
nice.
point where I felt like I was dying, but yes, it was good.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that I don't even know what to say really. It was just like we had such a good time, but
Mhm.
things also happened,
Yeah.
so
It didn't end amazing.
no.
It didn't end on that like good positive note, I guess,
Yeah, yeah, because I don't know if some of you had a chance to join us on our like live Zoom call
Yeah.
when Bev was visiting with me, but when we went to Jasper, Bev ended up getting sick, and it was
Yeah.
actually pretty bad. Like
It was really bad.
it was bad, and then it was like that happened, and then
Yeah.
I got sick, and then everybody got sick, and it
Yeah.
was just a
Hell.
month of sick.
I'm not gonna lie, it was hell. It was
Oh,
hell. I
like
probably sound even still a little bit nasally, I feel
mm,
like, just because I feel like I'm on the tail end of it now,
yeah,
finally. Had the
yeah,
craziest experiences through my healing, which I mean, I totally would love to share on this episode. But our trip to Jasper was so great. Um, I have been going. And at the end of December last year, 2021, I had for the first time in my life, like a sinus infection.
yeah,
Or, well, actually, I don't even know if it was a sinus infection. It started off with a whole bunch of things happening with my sinuses, which
right,
I've never experienced before in my life. So I
right,
just thought, oh, whatever, take sinus medication, probably will go away, steam, whatever. But it
yeah,
actually didn't. It just got incredibly worse.
yes.
And I think it was probably by February when I, was
Starting to maybe feel a
like
little
when I
bit
was
better.
finally not stubborn. So
Yeah.
I'm literally not one to take medication. So I try to avoid it at all costs. And I was going to acupuncture and I was doing everything I thought I possibly could at home.
Mm,
And in alternative modalities. And but no, my husband was like, okay, I think it's time. Like it's been long enough. So the beginning of February, I went on some medication. They put me on antibiotic. Have to say it didn't work. And
no.
then it was the week before leaving to Shelly's house, literally, I think actually like 2 days
Yes.
before we came, I ended up getting really bad vertigo. And if anyone doesn't know what vertigo is, it's like an imbalance in your ears.
Yeah.
And you can't really move your head at all because you feel like you're literally on the worst boat ride ever
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're going
Or
to fall over and
yeah.
throw up. So
Yeah.
it's the
Or it's
worst.
like, it's like when you drank too much and you go to lay down and the
Yeah.
whole world and everything is spinning.
Yeah,
That's
that's good.
vertigo.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It is.
I've never experienced vertigo
Oh,
like that. I know Shelly had. I
I have.
messaged her that morning. I was like, I was like literally crying. I have vertigo. What do I do? Help me. And she's like,
Uh-huh.
oh, there's an exercise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously. The
Yes.
exercise is hell.
Well,
I didn't
they
like
worked for
it.
me. They worked for me. I remember my vertigo, and it
Oh,
was super bad. I had it so bad that like I could not even hold myself up to go to the bathroom. That's how bad it was. It was
Oh,
so bad. I actually
yuck.
had to like hang on to the, thank God at the time where we lived, the tub
Yeah.
was literally right beside the toilet. So I could like hang
Hang
on,
on.
right? So I could go to the bathroom. It was so bad.
Yeah.
And we were to go to Manitoba
Mhm.
for my son-in-law's graduation. And I remember the doctor saying to me, no, there's no way you can't, you'd be sick as soon as you even start to get in the car. And I was like,
Yeah.
no, we have to go. And we did. But it was bad. Oh, and I felt,
Yeah.
I knew exactly what Bev was going through. And
Yeah.
oh, it was, oh,
It was not great. I'm not gonna lie. I was home
no,
for 2 days because I could not lift my head off the pillow. I was like,
yeah,
I can't go anywhere. And so my doctor put me on some other medication, and I took that before we left. And but just so happened that while we were in Jasper, well, what I thought at first, I thought I got food poisoning,
yeah,
but then I realized after I was so sick and we got back to Shelly's, my vertigo came back. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll just go back on my meds because I've
yeah.
been sick. And I still had to drive home back
Mhm.
to Saskatchewan. So went back on my meds and then discovered by the time I got home that it was my meds that were making me extremely sick. So then my kids got sick
Yeah.
and then I got sick and it was just, oh my gosh,
It
it's the
was.
craziest thing. I've been off work for like 5 weeks, which never done ever
I
in my
know.
life.
Yep.
So it
Mhm.
was quite a journey. I
Yeah.
don't know how, like for you, Shelly, I know when we were there, you started getting a sore throat.
Yes. Yep.
And you
Yep.
weren't kind of feeling good, just sore throat, really.
Yeah.
That's what you
That's
were
all I had was a sore throat. And I
going through.
immediately went to the doctor because
Yep.
for myself, like I have heart, of course, heart issues. So anytime
Yeah.
I do have a sore throat, I have to go to the doctor and get swabbed because they want to make sure I don't get staph infection. And
Yeah.
so I did that, and
Mhm.
Bev was here, and I ended up getting an antibiotic, and they
Yep.
came back to me and said, nope, not strep. And I was like, okay. But then I was getting bad and worse. And I was like, what the heck is happening? So I took a COVID test, and yeah, unfortunately it came back positive. So I was like immediately like immediate. As soon as I even like I actually took two tests because I was like, no, they can't be positive.
There's no
So
way. Denial
yeah,
first.
I was in denial. So anyway, when the second one said yes, I thought, oh my God. So immediately, like I'm talking immediately, I kicked my husband out of the bedroom. I said, I'm taking the bedroom over because it had everything, the bed, TV, toilet and shower. So I figured, okay, this is a good space to be in to isolate.
Yeah.
And yeah, I legit isolated for 5 days straight in my bedroom. I went a little wonky, as my kids said. I'm pretty sure because they kept saying, "Oh, we knew Mom was bored when." She was like, "So," texting the
Finding things
kids.
to do, just harassing people.
Yes, but I do have to say, in a way, for those 5 days, I got a lot accomplished. Like I
Yeah, of
was on my
course.
laptop almost every day
Forced days
working.
down.
Yes, working on like taxes, worked on my business, which by the way, I am finally in my new space, which I love so, so much. And I started last week,
Yes.
and it's been, I'm so grateful for where I am at, and I'm happy. So it really was for a reason. Obviously, I do feel that it was a
Hmm.
reason. We needed the time to slow down and,
Get some
just,
stuff accomplished.
yeah. So yeah,
I can agree because
yeah,
I was home for a long time and
yes,
I mean, I literally though, I was already so sick that
yes.
once, and then my kids got the flu. So like my
Mhm.
kids were not sick, or I mean, not just like sore throat, sorry, is what I
Right.
meant to say.
Yeah.
Um, and it was just a nightmare. And so then because my immune system was so down,
Mhm.
I got sick too.
Yeah.
So my kids bounced back. Like Tristan was a day,
Yeah.
Carson was 3,
Yeah.
Isabel I think was 3 too, and unfortunately for me it was like almost 3 on top of that. And I'd have to say those were like dark days. I said to my kids, okay, I really think that I went to the darkest depths of my soul through those days. Like it was just tough. And I can't recall that I've ever been that sick in my life. Like, I mean, I've had things happen and, you know, whatever, you get sick and I've had, you know, my fibro flares and things like that, but nothing like this. And, the kids felt bad. They're like, Mom, we feel so bad. Like, we're all better and you're not. And I'm like, I know. Like, don't remind me. I see you guys walking around like
normal.
And I wasn't. But it was interesting. So then my doctor thought maybe I was getting pneumonia because I'm susceptible to pneumonia. So thought I was getting pneumonia. My sinuses, of course, were still bad because like nothing got better. So I ended up going on this really heavy antibiotic that I've never heard of before. And it was super scary because it had like 3 pages of side effects and they were intense. So when I read it, I was scared for my life. And it was like, you'll be suicidal. You're going to have, you know, you're going to hallucinate. You're going to see, feel, and hear things that aren't there. And I'm like, well, that's great.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but it's just funny because it's coming from us. And like,
I know,
right? So
I know. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
It's going to be intensified now, Bev.
Oh my gosh. And it was like, you can have seizures if you have heart conditions in your family. If you have palpitations, do not take this medication. It was like, it was going to mess up your neurological something, like you're not gonna be able to walk. Oh my gosh. It actually said it was your tendons can rip. So you're not allowed to like flex and move your joints too much. And like, I know, I was like, oh my God. I was so scared. I called my husband. I was like, listen to this. And I read it and he was like, geez, hon, like, I don't know. Like, do you think you really need it? And I was like, well, I'm like dying. Like I literally felt like I was dying. So I called the pharmacist and she was like, well, let's weigh out risk versus benefit here. So I don't take any other medication. She's like, it's only 5 days, you know? And I was like, oh, so taking it was atrocious for sure. But I made my daughter sleep with me because I was worried about having these hallucinations and suicidal thoughts. Feelings. Sure. I was like, don't leave me alone. Right. So she slept with me, thank God. And, but I did hallucinate for sure because I felt like somebody touched my hand. And I mean, it's possible it could have happened.
I was just going to say, but that could happen because in our, like,
that happens
in our environment, I'll call it.
Yes.
It does happen.
Totally. So I was like, something just touched my hand. Right. And the kids are like, well, do you feel like someone's here? And I'm like, I don't know. Like I was so confused. Right. And then I was sitting in the living room once too. And I swear I heard Tristan yelling, Mom! And I was like, what? And I heard Mom again. And I yelled, what? Nothing, silence. I'm like, what the heck? And you have to remember, like my ears are plugged. So like, I also can't really hear. So I thought, he's got to be in his room. I can't really hear him. Maybe he was yelling at me. So I walked all the way upstairs with the little amount of energy I had. And I go up there and I went, what do you want, Tristan? Why are you yelling for me? And he's like, I wasn't yelling for you. And I was like, oh, great. I'm like, I'm hearing things. Oh my God. Oh yeah, it was quite interesting, but I got really, really depressed too, because when I was at Shelly's, I was so lucky enough to receive healing from Shelly right before I left Friday, because I was so tired and just like everything I went through, I was so drained from literally everything. And Shelly was like, yes, I give you healing before you leave. And I was like, oh my God, so grateful. So it was going to be probably like a shorter session, but we ended up going for a really long time, probably because I really needed it. And so like healed and dashed out of there. And came home. But during my session with Shelly, it was so awesome. It just literally opened up everything for me in a sense of like, I felt like because I was so sick for so long, it was almost like I just needed a big shift out, right? And that's what I experienced. And I was so excited and had all these downloads coming in. And I was so excited. I even said, "Shelley, we're going to have to talk. Oh my God, I got so many ideas and blah, blah, blah."
Which
and all
we
this
have
stuff.
not yet, by the
We
way.
have not yet. And so, yeah, I was so excited and I was driving home, a couple hours and I'm just like, oh, so many amazing things. And of course, then I ended up getting sick again. And then that's why I got really like down because it was like, I haven't been to work for a really long time. I was like, why did you give me all these exciting things and I can't do any of them? So it was just so sad, but I am now, on the move to like do all these fun things. So it's just great. But yeah, the healing was amazing. I just, yeah, it was awesome. So thank you so much. It just really helped.
Yeah.
Thank God I got that. And then I got sick again. So, but now it's, I think it was last week. So today is, I just want to note the date. So it's March 23rd. So last week on March 15th, it was a Tuesday. I know something in astrology that was going on, was affecting a lot of people. And that day I had the craziest experience. So I tried to go back to work on the Monday. I had a bunch of clients and stuff and rescheduled a bunch of them just so I could go back nice and slow and kind of test the waters.
Back in. Yeah.
Because I didn't feel quite 100% yet, like my energy. And so Monday I had a personal appointment first thing in the morning, and then I come out of my appointment and both of my clients had messaged me and had to reschedule. And I was like, okay. So the universe is like, no, nice try. You thought you were ready to go back to work. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So took the day again. So Tuesday I went back to work. My client comes in the morning and we turned it into a distant healing. And from that session, I just became extremely exhausted after that. And I was in my room at work and I felt like I could not peel myself off my chair. And I just stared at my table like I just needed to be on the bed. And so I texted my daughter to just see if she was home or whatever. And I said, I'm coming home. Like I canceled the rest of my day. I can't, like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And it was super scary. So I made it home and it was about 11:30. I just went straight to the couch. I just like plunked down and I slept until 4. And then when I woke up, I like literally like did one of those like peel yourself upward. And I just sat there and it was the first time in my life that I felt lifeless. When you feel energy, like we're energy workers, I feel energy all the time.
Yep.
And like, I've been sick and I have been down and I thought I was dying. And like, I had all those experiences already. But that day, I literally felt like I died inside. I felt lifeless. Like I actually knew what it felt like to feel dead inside. It was so depressing. And I was just like, I suppose like, I thought you were getting better. And I'm like, it was just so like, what is going on? So I went upstairs, I hung out in my bed for a little while and I went to bed early. And then I woke up Wednesday morning and I'm like a switch went off. It was almost like the feeling of something happened, something came out and something had to come in, or something had to be like repaired and then came back in. I can't even explain the feeling, but it was mind blowing. And then the full moon came on the Friday. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
And then the spring equinox as well. Yep. So, oh my gosh, it's just been a wild ride. But now all of a sudden I feel like myself again, and I've got all this energy and, but I really felt like I had to learn a lot of lessons in order to get there. And yeah, as I look at the clock right now, it's 11:11. But so last year, I'm pretty sure I shared this with Shelly in December before the full moon. I had this dream vision, however you want to call it, that I had birthed myself. It was the first time I ever saw myself as a baby. And then after that, they just said to me, okay, Bev, now you just need to birth the placenta. And I was like, okay,
Right.
okay. I literally took that dream or whatever, that
That
message
happened. Yeah.
that I was going to birth the placenta just to the end of December, at the end of the year, and then like jump into the new year. And at that time, that is when all the sinuses started happening. And I was like, okay. So I literally feel like up to Tuesday, last Tuesday, March 15th,
Right.
was when I finally birthed the placenta. Like it was fine. It's finally over.
Yeah.
Because it's literally felt like hell
Right.
since then.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I just feel like a completely different person where I thought that that is what I was going to feel like by the end of December. But no, now it's almost April. And I'm like, wow. Like I was so excited at the end of December, like,
Yeah.
yay, I'm here, all the things.
Yeah.
No, April.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's April.
It's
That
April.
would have been nice insight. Sometimes that's the unfortunate part. I feel like it's like yes, I can get messages and these things, but like sometimes they're not always so clear.
No.
But I also know I wasn't listening. I've been pushing myself really hard with work and assisting and helping and taking on a lot. And it's just a lot. And so I kept getting that message last year. Slow down, Bev, take some time off, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah.
Yep.
I'll do it. And seriously, those were the pebbles I always talk about that they throw at you.
Yep.
And then I got hit with a massive boulder and it took me out completely. And right up until Tuesday, everything has changed since then. Like my calendar is different. I have days off. I take less clients in a day now. My teaching schedule changed. I changed my teaching schedule to every other Sunday instead of every Sunday because I was working Monday to Saturday with clients and additional on top of that in the evenings. And then I would teach on Sundays. So now I take every other weekend off. I teach every other Sunday and I'm not going to teach over summer. And it was just like all these things I was supposed to do then, I already now did right up to that point. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, you did it now. Ding. Now you can come back to your life. And I was like, wow. So it was a huge, huge learning lesson.
Yep. Well, I'm glad to hear that because like I said in the beginning of this episode, I said, if you had a chance to go on our live together when we did it together, Bev did say, yes, I gave her a whole lecture and I did.
She did. None of you have seen this side of Shelly before.
No. And I literally, like, she was so sick that day in Jasper and I'm giving her a lecture, but I had to. They were telling me to tell her, this isn't a coincidence or whatever you want to call it, because they're telling you again, you need to do this and you need to do that. So I was like running the gears on her and I'm sitting here listening to her. And when she just said that to me, I'm just excited and ecstatic for her because honestly, that's what she needs. Like, it's just like, yay. So I'm so happy. And finally she's doing it because literally, you guys, she needs the rest. I'm sorry to all the people that are trying to maybe get into Bev, but at the same time, she's not going to be, it's that saying, if you're not good for yourself, you're not going to be good for anybody else. Right. And so she's not going to be able to help anyone if she's not in the right place. Right. And so she needs rest too. And she literally is working every day. Every day. She barely takes any time off.
Morning to night.
Yeah. So no, I am super, super happy to hear this, that you have no idea. Like, I have seen Bev go through phases of this. Like, she has run herself ragged and down many times, and she does love what she does. And she just loves what she does, and she can't help to take breaks. And so it's just, I'm just so glad she's there.
Yeah.
Finally.
I said to one of our people, I was like, I literally just got like spiritually slapped, like so hard. And I just
Yeah.
had to listen. And I've been telling a couple of people, you know, I was like, and my sister, like at the lowest point in Jasper, when I was like dying, she stands there and yells at me for 2 hours.
Yelling. I was just giving you the gears.
Oh
Like
yeah.
being like,
She was very firm, and she was like, yeah, because I said to her in Jasper, I was like, I've been praying and like nobody's helping me. Like, why am I so sick? And Shelly's like, oh, you want to know why they're not here? They're gone, Beth. Your team is gone. They're not here anymore because you weren't listening to them. They're not helping you no more. And she just went on and on. It was so awesome. But it
I
was like a
but
loving
it was. And you know what?
kick in the butt.
You have to admit too, like while we were standing there, honestly, like she'd been like seriously very, very sick that day, like very sick. She was not keeping anything down. And while I
No.
was giving her the gears, she was perking up. Everybody around me was like, what's this happening? Like mom
what's
is
happening?
mom's feeling better. She was
Yeah.
eating, she was drinking. Like I was trying to give her as much healing as I could distantly in that room while I was giving her the gears.
It was like, heal, yell. It was just like, it was so confusing. It was like all these things were happening. And then I started to feel better.
Yeah, she was feeling a little bit better. Not, I wouldn't say she was 100% obviously, but at the same time, you could see like she actually was starting to have energy, and she was actually talking and wasn't, going to the bathroom every, couple hours or an hour or whatever to go to the, to be sick. And so, I am ecstatic, and I'm so happy to hear that. I really am. And I'm glad that you are on the mend, but at the same time, just so happy to hear that, because like I told you before, even in that room, like even for myself, like I've known even from the beginning for me, when I've, started my business, that I was going to only have this and this and take this, because it drains the hell out of me. I can imagine what it would be like for you. Like I was like, oh, I can't. No, you make me tired even just you talking about it. So yeah, I'm just so happy to hear that. So that's
and sometimes it's a gift and a curse in so many ways of so many of the gifts that I feel I have. And especially being a Capricorn, and just my heart is a gift and a curse sometimes for me, because I since 2020 2021, it's been like I've worked with so many people up to what globally they would call the pandemic, and that was amazing, but it just changed, and there was such a need for sessions and healing, and people were feeling fear and lost, and
for sure
that hopelessness, and so many things, and mental illness was at an all-time high, and I just kept going and going. And I really felt like I knew my purpose of like, yes, I'm going to hold the light torch as we navigate through the dark. And I really tried through the entire time to release clear cut, do all the things to assist myself to do the work. But I knew I was getting that message, halfway through, I want to say 2021, it was like, okay, Bev, now we can slow down a little bit, take a little bit more time, make some changes. And I just did. And I just kept going, and I actually feel like it increased. It got worse and worse, but not in a bad way. It just, the need was there, and I felt really called to assist,
for sure. And
definitely at my expense, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just going to say, and that's what I was going to say, was that, like I said earlier, I know you love what you do, and you love to help people and things like that, and which is an amazing gift. But like you said, it can be, at your expense. And we have to remember that, yes, it's good to help other people, but we also have to help ourselves and be in a good spot and a good place and feeling good. And like we talked about this many times, even self-care. I know you do lots of self-care, but you weren't doing self-care like you were doing them, but it was almost like yeah, you did it, but then you're like, oh, I'll just do this today. Like even the
To
same
work.
day. Yeah. So it's just like,
Yeah.
no, 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 no.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
self-care days where I go for the appointment, but it was
Yeah,
continuous work.
exactly.
Never
Yes.
stopped.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, for sure.
No,
So
it was huge
yeah.
awakening for sure. I want to say that I
Hmm.
just went through an experience, especially that, last Tuesday, that was like, whoa, I literally felt the shift. I've never felt that in my human physical form. And
Yeah.
that was weird. So,
I
but
have, on the other hand, have gone
yeah,
through many of those.
yeah. And like
So,
I've had many shifts and like,
yeah.
I mean, I've had all of that stuff,
Hmm.
when I'm
Yeah,
metaphysically shifting and upgrading and all this and that, but
for
wow,
sure.
that was crazy.
Yeah.
But aside from all that, we
Yes,
did have a really good time in Jasper.
we
Shelly
did.
and I
Yes,
did hit up the mountain
we did. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
with
I
the
mean,
3 and 5-year-olds,
yeah. But you know
but
what?
that was so fun.
Yeah, like we had so much fun. And like I said to Bev, like I
Yeah.
know I hope I can share this, but like Bev has anxiety when it comes to skiing.
Mountain skiing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
as
she
I've had
does.
trauma before.
Yeah, she's had trauma before, and
Yeah.
she was not doing good that morning. She literally, to the point, like,
I
and
made
I get,
myself even more
yeah,
sick because of my
exactly,
anxiety, on top of
exactly.
being sick
Right. Yeah.
and
And so that's,
elevation.
yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. Like, I do get that, because that's
Yeah.
just how like I feel like we're kind of similar in a lot of ways, because
Mhm.
I get like that too. If I get too much anxiety, I end up getting sick. And
Right.
so I knew going in that she was not doing well. And I just said, hey, you know what? I haven't even skied in 30 years. And I honestly am not going to go on to the mountain first
Yeah.
day. Forget it. And I said, we are going to do whatever we got to do. We'll stick down here. And you know what?
Yeah.
It literally was so much fun. Like I
Yeah.
didn't care we were around little kids. And there were some
No.
adults too. They were learning too. But
Yes.
at the
They're
same
so
time,
inspiring.
yeah, like
The little people. Oh
amazing.
my
Oh
gosh.
my God.
Shelly and I are like, wow, good for you. I'm so proud of you. Like, and they're just
Yeah.
like, don't talk to me. I'm
Yeah,
not
they're
allowed to
like,
talk to the
you
strangers. Like,
weirdo. Yeah.
and we're just like, yay.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so cute. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And
And
like I said,
so
there were
fun.
adults there too learning. And you
Yeah.
know what? I did not care. I told Bev when
No, me
I found
either.
out we were going, to Jasper and going skiing. Like at first our plan was we weren't skiing. We were just going to be at the
In the
chalet
chalet.
like normal, like what I
Yeah.
usually do. And
Hmm.
but then she was like, "Well, maybe we should ski." And I was like, "Oh my God, okay." So as soon as we agreed
Yeah. We
on
made the
skiing,
decision.
right
Yeah.
away, I literally was talking to myself, saying to myself, okay, we're not going to have anxiety about this. We're going to
Yeah.
go in. I went in with a different mindset. And I
Totally.
just said to myself, we are going to have fun no matter what. I'm going to have fun. It is not going to be scary. I'm not going to do this to myself. And thank God I did, because
Yeah.
I did. I had a great time, and it was
Yeah.
so fun. And I
Totally.
fell a few times and I didn't even care. I was laughing so
No.
hard at
Yeah.
myself, So
Yeah.
I honestly had a great day. It was super fun. And then we went on this ice walk,
Yeah. And the
and it
canyon.
was
It was
beautiful.
so beautiful in there. Oh my gosh. I
It
was hugging
was.
rocks along the way.
Yeah,
I was just like,
exactly.
oh,
Yeah.
I
And then
love it.
it was just, it was an awesome weekend, other than, getting, like Bev was getting, end up getting sick and stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
afterwards, but all in all, it was super nice. It was super nice to
Mhm.
have us siblings, like our brother had joined us as well. So
Yes.
it was nice to have him and his kids with us. And,
Yeah.
my son got to join us for the one day. So
It was
yeah,
awesome.
it was a lot of fun. And
Everybody had such a blast. And it was so
yeah,
good.
it was.
And
We all needed it. Yeah.
we all needed it. And we hadn't been together as siblings for a really long time.
No.
And I know my family wanted to go to the mountains together
Mhm.
and ski and snowboard and all that too. And it never happened yet. And it was just like the perfect opportunity,
Yeah.
and we all took it. And I'm so grateful that we did.
Yes.
And I feel that even when we were at the mountain, I'm sure even if I think when you had last tried to ski, if you said 30 years ago, even at that time, probably wasn't a mountain you were on. It was probably
No,
like
it was on the bunny
our
hill.
hill
Yeah,
here,
it was
in
definitely, yeah.
Saskatchewan. So a mountain is like, it can be very intimidating because it's very, very big. But
Yes.
but this time I felt like we had such a great time, and we had created a very positive experience
Yes.
because we get anxiety over things as well. And so
Yes.
it was so good for us to have that day of just like practicing and
Yeah.
trying.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that can just know how to ski without lessons and just go up to the top and come all the way down. I mean,
God,
you're just
no.
asking for disaster or injury. So, because I know that happened to me the last time I went, and I tried to hurt myself so that someone they would have to airlift me off the mountain. I was like, how can I hurt myself that they will get that snowmobile and come take me down, or I'll get airlifted out of here.
Right?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is not good.
No, no,
So yeah, just like creating that. And I didn't want that for you either.
no.
Going to the mountain for the first time, having that same experience of like, let's
Right.
just try a couple times and then go up, because
Yes. Yeah.
it can be like, whoa. And then like people are coming down
Oh,
behind
for
you and they
sure.
know what they're doing. And you just feel like you're that animal on the road dodging the
You're trying
traffic.
to
You're like,
avoid.
so, yeah, it was so fun. And I so want to go back and,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of try it again and then go up. I think
Yeah,
that will be our
exactly.
next adventure if we can. That
Yeah.
would be so
Yeah.
fun. So we did
Exactly.
get some pictures together and stuff like
Yeah.
that,
Mhm.
that we can definitely share.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it was so great. Such a
It
great trip.
was. It
So
really
lots
was.
of learning and shifting and
Yeah.
playing and crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over the
Yeah.
last while. So
Yeah.
we're
It
so glad
was.
to be back,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, I
here
am.
with
I'm
you
very
guys.
excited. I was
Yeah.
super, not like, trust me, I was feeling very, very like sad that Bev was still very sick, and I totally understood and all that. But I was kind of missing our, get-togethers and
Yes.
our episodes and stuff. So I'm super excited to be back,
Yeah.
and that we're all on the, the mend.
We're all on the up and up and
Yeah.
scheduling ahead. So
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
it's all good. Good things to come. And we're so
Mhm.
happy to be back. And
Yes.
thank you everybody for your patience,
Yes.
with the time gap, I guess, between episodes.
Yes.
And we had nothing pre-recorded even. Sometimes
No.
Shelly and I will do a bit of pre-recording just so we
Yes.
have them kind of stacked ahead in
Yes.
case things like that happen. And we had
We
stacked
did.
right
Yeah.
up to us meeting because we were going to do some stuff in
In
person.
person.
And
That
but
didn't
poor
work.
Shelly's throat was
Oh,
not,
so bad.
she couldn't even know. So
No.
we were like, yeah, we'll do it like when you're feeling better. And
And then,
then it was my turn. So,
yeah.
and it
Yeah.
just didn't work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, yeah.
So thank you so much for that. And yes, we're back, and Shelly's finally opened up her new space and she's back at it.
Yes, I
And
am. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody has noticed or seen, but Shelly has changed her business name as well. It used to be
Yes, I
Soul
did.
Goddess Care.
Yeah.
And now it is the Healing Libra.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's so exciting. It's a beautiful logo.
Mhm.
I'm sure you'll be able to see it there on social platforms as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's super exciting. It's nice to see my sister back at it, and finally in a place, because it was hard for her to find a space, and it was getting a little disheartening, I think, for her. And because I can't even imagine. I know what it
Right.
was like to be sick for 5 weeks and not work, and I'm just like, I almost
Yeah.
died. So,
Yeah.
and I know you were off for a couple months just with the move and
Yes.
doing surgery and like just everything.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and finding a space. So it was tough. So I'm so happy for
Yeah.
you to be back, and I can't wait
Me
to
too.
come and be physically in your space, because I had healing at Shelly's house because her space wasn't ready yet.
No.
So I can't wait to head up to Edmonton and or Shore
Yes.
Park and have a session. So
Yeah, I
amazing.
really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And like, yeah, I'm super excited to be back. And I, like Bev said, like we were sick and everything, and I ended up, I was supposed to actually open March 1st, but I was so sick, and then I had more company, and it just was like, it felt like I was never going to ever have it. Honest to God, it just was like, seriously, I thought, it
That's
ain't
how I felt
happening.
about my illness. Like, this is never going to go away.
Exactly. Like I felt like I was never going to have this open.
Yeah.
And we, you know, our company left. We had to go somewhere. Like we ended up going to Lethbridge, which was only a short trip. But by the time we got back, I like my husband, thank God for my husband. Honest to God, like we crammed, like it was like
everything in
4 days. Yeah. Like we were painting, we were like, it was
assembling. It's like everything.
Oh my Lord. And, you know, my son even helped a little bit. And, you know, it just, thank God, because honestly, I was aiming for that Monday and I was like, no, I've got other stuff that I have to do. But I opened on the 15th and
that was my shifting day.
I know. And I was just going to say,
funny. Oh my
I know, because I wanted to say that was the day that I opened. Yeah. And I literally got my first client that day. And a new client. Yeah, and it was brand new client, you know, and I was so honored. I was just like, what? Like I was so shocked because I literally just literally opened everything up that morning. Yeah. And yeah, I literally it was just great. Place. Yeah, it was super great. And
so good. I love it.
I couldn't have been more happier. Honestly, I really am happy with the space. I'm happy where I am and thankful for my husband and for helping, honestly, because we made this accent wall together and it's just, I love it so much. And again, yes, I've changed my name to the Healing Libra and I changed my colors, my whole thing, because not that I didn't like Soul Goddess. I just, things were just different for me. And it didn't, not that it didn't feel like me, it just wasn't, I just didn't feel like it was the right fit. Yeah. And
this wasn't in alignment with you anymore.
Yeah. And so I changed it to the Healing Libra and I totally resonate and feel like this is so me because
it is
for one, I'm a Libra and I love give healing and it's just something that I love to do. And I added a new service, which I did get to practice a little bit on Bev. It's with the tuning fork and it's sound healing. It's called sound therapy. And I am so excited to do that as well. So yeah, I'm just excited. So yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
All this time away from our listeners and there's been so much change. So it's wonderful. All good things to come, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today and listening to us catch up with you all. And we look forward to many more episodes. There's lots of really good things that are going to be coming up in the near future too. So we're super excited about that. And of course, share, like, comment, reach out, you guys, like this is what we're here for. We love to help. We love to share. We love to know all the things. Don't be shy. Reach out.
And if you guys are on Apple Podcasts too, please give us a 5-star rating because then it bumps us up so more people can actually listen to us. So please do that.
If we're a 5-star.
Yeah, if we are. But we would appreciate that so much. And
absolutely. Yeah, it's been amazing. So thank you all so much for tuning in with the Empath Sisters. Today, we're sending you love and light and gratitude wherever this may find you. Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.